America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. I'm like a dog with a bone with this one, and I'm not going to let go of it. Not because it's about Trump, but because it's about who we are as a people. Not because it's about Trump's lack of character or lack of morals, but it's about our character, our morals, our values. I'm not going to let go of this. I think this is too damn important because I think this, what I'm about to say, speaks to who we are as a people. So I'll start like this. Donald Trump is a coward. Donald Trump is a wussy. Donald Trump is everything that you and I taught our kids not to be. He's a bully. He's a coward. He's a liar. He's a cheat. He's corrupt. He's a criminal. He's cruel. He's ignorant. He's a bad sport. He's a poor sport. And ladies, I don't mean to sound sexist or chauvinistic, but I'm going to say it as a guy. Donald Trump ain't a man. He ain't a real man. That's not what a real man is. Donald Trump is the antithesis of what a real man is. And as someone who comes from MAGA, you've heard me say this before, it always just pains me that so many, almost all of my former supporters and followers who are still on Team Trump, they look at Trump like he's some kind of tough guy, like he's some kind of tough man. He's a man, Joe. He's a real man, Joe. BS. He's a wuss. He's a puss. He's a baby. Why am I bringing this up today? Because it was affirmed again yesterday. The contrast. Who and what Trump is yesterday compared to who and what a real man is. I was, and Keith, you can go ahead and put it up if you want, Biden's statement from yesterday. Thank you, brother. And keep that up. I'm going to read it. I was blown away by what former President Joe Biden said yesterday. He issued a statement on the, what everybody's calling the historic ceasefire. The ceasefire that's going to end, as Trump said, as the liar in chief said, going to end 3,000 years of war, just like that. But I was blown away, and follow me for a moment. I was blown away by what former President Joe Biden said. And I was blown away by when Joe Biden said it yesterday. Joe Biden issued this statement that I'm about to read. You can read it there. I'll read it out loud. Joe Biden publicly released this statement yesterday on the ceasefire, on Gaza and Israel. He released this statement early yesterday evening after Trump attacked Biden and hurled personal insults at Biden and lied about Biden and threw Biden under the bus. Donald Trump yesterday said the most inaccurate, dishonest, horrible things about former President Joe Biden, because that's who Trump is. But what's important is Biden put out this statement after after Trump spent the day saying horrible things about Biden and lying about Biden. So after all of that, after Donald Trump saying that Joe Biden hates Israel, Joe Biden threw Israel under the bus, Joe Biden never stood with Israel, Joe Biden and Barack Obama hated Israel, Joe Biden and Barack Obama could never do what I did, Joe Biden killed America, Donald Trump said America was dead under Joe Biden. Donald Trump went on and on and on, just right. A historic ceasefire, right, should be all about the ceasefire, right, all about the Palestinian people and the Israeli people. That's not Trump. Trump makes it all about himself. But Trump viciously attacks his predecessor dishonestly. None of it was true. And then Biden, after all of that, comes out and issues this statement. I am deeply grateful and relieved that this day has come. For the last living 20 hostages who've been through unimaginable hell and are finally reunited with their families and loved ones, and for the civilians in Gaza who have experienced immeasurable loss and will finally get the chance to rebuild their lives. The road to this deal was not easy. My administration worked relentlessly to bring hostages home, get relief to Palestinian civilians, and end the war. I commend President Trump and his team for their work to get a renewed ceasefire deal over the finish line. Now, with the backing of the United States and the world, the Middle East is on a path to peace that I hope endures, and a future for Israelis and Palestinians alike with equal measures of peace, dignity, and safety. Keep that up for a sec, Keith. Thank you. A gracious statement. A magnanimous statement. He commended Trump. He praised Trump and his team. He went out of his way to praise Trump and put the focus on what matters, the Palestinian people and the Israeli people, and hopefully peace down the road. And my first thought when I read this statement by Biden was, my very first thought was, whoa, Biden is saying this after Trump just ripped him up and down? Biden puts out this statement after Donald Trump in front of the world lied and said that Joe Biden hates Israel. Trump said a lot more about Biden, but just stop there for a moment. Donald Trump said yesterday in front of the world, marking this historic ceasefire, that Joe Biden, he said Barack Obama too, but Joe Biden hates Israel. What kind of a monster would say that? It's a lie. Joe Biden, throughout his career, has expressed love for and support for the state of Israel. Joe Biden has publicly identified as a Zionist, right? Someone who believes in the state of Israel. Over and over, Joe Biden's called himself a Zionist, and he's acted like a Zionist. October 7th happens, and Joe Biden stands with and supports Israel all the way through his presidency. And Donald Trump says Biden hates Israel. And then Biden comes out later on yesterday and doesn't respond to Trump, commends Trump. Biden turns the other cheek. Biden doesn't go after the bully and the coward, the liar, the divider, the hater. Former President Joe Biden turns the other cheek and commends Trump for getting this renewed ceasefire deal done. I would remind everybody as well that Joe Biden helped give freedom to 120 some hostages, way more than Trump did. I will remind everybody as well that when Donald Trump was sworn in, there was a ceasefire in place that Trump and Netanyahu purposely fucked. I will remind everyone that this ceasefire deal that was enacted yesterday is pretty much the same damn ceasefire deal that was on the table last fall when Biden was president. Almost the exact same ceasefire as a year ago when Biden was president, and Bibi Netanyahu ignored it, walked away from it, didn't want it. And the reporting is really damn clear that Trump called Netanyahu last fall and said, "Don't you dare touch that ceasefire. That will help get Kamala Harris elected." Trump did that. And oh, by the way, a year later, right? Netanyahu ignores the ceasefire, the same damn ceasefire a year ago. Then Trump's elected. Trump and Netanyahu tear up the temporary ceasefire in place. And then Bibi Netanyahu goes to what accelerates the war on Gaza. You think about it, a year, all the untold dead because Trump called Netanyahu a year ago and said, "Don't you dare give a ceasefire while Biden is president. That'll help get Harris elected." And Biden knows about all of this. But with all of that context, Joe Biden comes out last night and is still the statesman and is still magnanimous and gracious and focuses on what matters. He praises Trump, knowing all the history, knowing everything Trump has done this last year to fuck with, for political reasons, fuck with a ceasefire in Gaza. Biden knows all of that. And Biden knows every damn thing Trump said yesterday about Biden. All the lies, all the insults, maligning, just grossly maligning Joe Biden's reputation when it comes to Israel and the Middle East. Biden knows all of that, all the ugly, dirty, horrible shit that Donald Trump said on the world stage yesterday about Joe Biden, all of that. And Biden comes out, issues this statement, turns the other cheek, and does the right, decent, magnanimous thing. Doesn't make any of this about himself. After Donald Trump spent all of yesterday making everything about himself. And this got me just thinking once again where I started today's show. Joe Biden's a man. Joe Biden's a real man. He's a real fucking man. He's a real dude. He's the real dude, right? He's a man. Decent. Magnanimous. Putting other people before himself. Not sitting there and saying, "Look, thanks, Keith. Look at me, look at me, look at me." Not putting all the attention on himself. Not lying. Not hurling horrible personal attacks at anybody else. That's how we raise our boys to be. That's what a real man is: decent, honest, charitable, gracious, compared to Trump once again yesterday. A fucking pathological liar. A narcissist like we've never seen. Look at me. Look at me. That was Trump all day yesterday in the Knesset, delivering a speech to the Knesset. Everywhere Trump went yesterday, it was like, look at me. Look at me. A bully, a coward, and a liar, and a divider, and a baby, and a victim. Trump also spent a lot of yesterday complaining again about the Nobel Peace Prize. You know, by the way, how does a real man act when it comes to the Nobel Peace Prize? Does a real man publicly beg for the award? Come on, men. Come on, MAGA boys. Come on, everybody. How do you teach your boys to act in any athletic competition? Do you tell them to tell the refs and the officials and the heads of the league, look at me, I deserve the most valuable player of the year, I'm the best player, look at me, is that how you teach your boys to behave? That's Trump, right? And he's still at it, right? He's got all world leaders today begging Trump to get next year's Nobel Peace Prize. Does a real man publicly beg for the Nobel Peace Prize, or does a real man keep his mouth shut and let his deeds do the talking? I swear, if I had the money, man, I would travel the country and do nothing but speak to Trump supporting men of all ages. And I would only talk about and focus on and ask them about this. Hey, how does a real man behave? Does a real man lie every time he opens his mouth? Hey, guys, tell me what real men are like. Are real men bullies? Because you've always told me, guys, that bullies are cowards. So are real men bullies? Do real men stand on the world stage on the day of a historic ceasefire, when the last remaining live Israeli hostages are coming home? Does a real man look at that kind of a day and then tell the world, look at me, not these hostages and their families, talk about me, give the prize to me? Biden sucks. Biden hated Israel. Look at me. Donald Trump is the antithesis of a man. That's not a new story. But Trump's share of the male vote over the years has done nothing but go up. Trump's share of the young male vote, college educated men, and I've always done a lot of speaking on college campuses, and I get it. And I understand why they support Trump. These young men, college age men, and then men just beyond college, they generally are not political. And they think Trump is just like, he's this fuck you to the man. He's this fuck you to the system. He tells it like it is, Joe. He ain't like a typical politician. Ba, 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 ba. It's like Charlemagne the God. Did I get that right, Keith? Yeah. Charlemagne the God came out yesterday and said, I admire Trump because he doesn't care. He just says what he says, and he doesn't care about what people think about what he says, as opposed to those Democrats who are, every word they say, you know, it's got to be approved by 1,000 consultants and 1,000 pollsters. Charlemagne the God said that yesterday. He said he admires that Trump doesn't care. He just says stuff. He doesn't care what people think about what he says. Now, Charlemagne the God is right. in that Democrats, and I'm just a very new Democrat, I've never been this way. I just say what I believe, but I have found that Democrats generally, man, they get down on their knees and they listen to too many damn consultants and pollsters. I get all of that. That's all true. But to admire Trump for just saying shit and not caring how people will react to what he says, that's really easy to do when you lie as you breathe. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, Charlemagne the God. That's nothing to admire. It's really easy to just say shit when you are utterly untethered to truth. But look at how, and I hear that from young guys all the time when I speak publicly, that Trump just says it like it is. And I'll say, but he lies all the time. He lies. And here's an example. Boom, boom, boom. Almost every time he opens his mouth, he lies. It's not good to lie, right? It's not right to lie, right? You don't repeatedly lie to people you like and respect, do you? And young men, when I engage in that kind of conversation with them, they hubbada hubbada. They have a hard time with it. No, there's been so much damage done in the age of Trump. This is just one aspect of the damage. And again, ladies, I apologize. I'm focusing on men. Donald Trump is not a real man. He's the antithesis of a real man. That was demonstrated again yesterday by the way Trump behaved. And then along comes Biden, and Biden again yesterday showed to a country that's not paying attention how a real man handles himself. He's gracious. He gives credit where credit is due, even if he's giving credit to his political opponent. He doesn't badmouth his political opponent. He's magnanimous. He makes it about the issue and not himself. Real men, honest, decent, kind, like we've gotten to a point in America because of him, because of Trump, who's an utterly cruel guy. Like that's some sort of a manly thing to be a dick, to be a jerk, to be cruel, to pick on people. Yeah, Joe. That's not the way real men behave. Real men are kind. They're decent. They treat people with respect. I'm not going to let go of this. I am not going to let go of this. As long as I have a breath, I want to help right this ship because Trump has just all by himself utterly upended and fucked up what it means to be a real man. Someone who looks after their own, someone who takes care of those less fortunate than themselves, someone who is a good sport, like they lose an election and they're man enough to accept the result of that election. That's what a real man does. I could go on. Trump ain't no tough guy. He's a pussy. He's a wuss. He's a baby. Does a real man always play the victim? Every day, Trump's a victim. Look at me. I'm being treated unfairly. He says every year. Do you know? And Keith, I'm probably going to close with this because I wanted to talk about other things, but I've gone on too long. Do you know at 1:00 in the morning last night, Donald Trump publicly sent out a post complaining about the picture of him on the cover of Time magazine, the latest edition. Time's got a piece out talking about the Middle East, a complimentary piece about Trump, talking about the ceasefire and the potential peace agreement. It's not a peace agreement yet But there's a picture on the cover of Trump. Trump didn't like the picture. He thought it was unflattering. He accused Time of purposely taking an unflattering picture of him. Again, Trump playing the victim. Oh my God, again he's the crybaby. Again he's the victim. Time magazine unfairly took a bad picture of me. Fire the photographer. Is that how a real man behaves, MAGA? Is a real man always crying about how he's being treated? Is that how you raise your boys to be, MAGA? Do you raise your boys, MAGA? Did you raise your boys, MAGA, to always be the victim? It's just not fair. Everybody's just taking advantage of you. You can't get ahead. You're just the victim. Is that how you taught your boys to be, or did you teach your boys to be empowered, that they are the ones responsible for whether they rise or fall? They're responsible for their lives. Or, MAGA, did you teach your boys to be the forever victim? It was so apparent again yesterday. And son of a gun, Joe Biden provided that contrast again. Kindness is manly. I can't say, I have a hard time with this word. Magnanimity is manly. Generosity is manly. To be gracious is manly. And Biden was all of that. A quick reminder before we close. Apologies, Keith. I did not get to the other stuff. We'll do it tomorrow. I wanted to get everybody to ICE in Chicago was waiting outside a Catholic church on Chicago's north side, just waiting to apprehend people as they got out of church. I'll address that later this week because that's been going on and on in Chicago. And oh, by the way, men impersonating masked ICE agents and assaulting women, those attacks are on the rise around the country, everybody. Shocker, huh? Shocker. Take off those damn masks, ICE agents. Two quickies as I close. Don't forget this Saturday, no kings, no kings, no kings. Get out there and march, rally, protest, wherever you are. Reaffirm this basic American principle. No kings in America. Go to indivisible.org, indivisible.org. You'll get a listing of protest and rallies near you. As always, subscribe to my Substack, socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com, socialcontract.substack.com. Become a subscriber to my Substack. It would just help a whole bunch. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. It would help. It would help keep this manly voice out there. And finally, you want to shoot me an email, do the social contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Thanks, Keith. That's all one word. The social contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Thanks for listening, everybody. Be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social